Greetings, ladies and gents, and welcome to the latest narration in the web series Accidentally Adopted. If you're new to the series, there is a playlist listed down below in the description. And as always, I hope that you enjoy. Part 5, Chapter 14. Underway. Dear Diary, we have a guest aboard. Well, not like a guest, more like a passenger. But he doesn't have any money, so he's working in the engine room. Which is going pretty okay, I guess. Maybe he'll come sailing with us permanently as another trainee engineer. Or maybe with someone else. He says he wants to see the beast taker, or whatever he called himself, get what is coming to him. But it's hard to imagine someone going back to living stuck on a planet once you start sailing. I think we have that exercise uniform down. It's pretty simple. Just shorts and a t-shirt with shoes. But Greg couldn't get any of the shirt logos right. According to him, so I just put our heraldry on it. He's working on the semi-formal and duty uniforms next. But I have the idea for the future. I'm holding back one of every 50 plushies for now as a separate stock. And I'm looking into adding logos to the back and chest pockets of these jumpsuits after the fact. Hopefully, I can do it without getting a whole new machine. I'm also holding back another 1 in 50 and putting the heraldry for the hospital ship on them. I can donate some. I couldn't donate my first run though. That was just crazy. I wouldn't have been able to afford the materials for the next run if I had, but you can't really blame someone for just asking. So, that's going well. What's not going well are the combat drills. I just can't hit target type 4. Journal entry 66, date 1/11/7, name Great George. Oh boy, chart time. Captain, Yorm Drill the Pops. Exo, Yam Drill Ga, Uncle. Navigator, Brulzy Ronzi, Sextant. Communications Officer, Nightran, Chit-Chat. Tactical Officer, Runji Draggy, Pink. Pilot, Saudran Ronzi, Flyboy. Cargo Master, Trevdi Drill D, Mom. Head Cook, Braxtion Yonra, Chef. Undercook, Quindrum, Loverboy. Undercook, Pearl Duo, Vox Duo, Hooters. First Engineer, Wexlin Greasy. Second Engineer, Vivdra Yonra. Sprocket. Third Engineer, Rocksdal, Static Frizzle. Trainee Engineer, Rydyork, Intern. Trainee Engineer, Bick, Sausage. Ship's EMT, Nandran Dranlai, Scrubs 1. Ship's EMT, Noivdram Dranba. Scrubs 2. Ship's Teacher, Mrs. Howitz, Teddy Tutor. Ship's Advanced Math Teacher, Mr. Howitz, Professor Teddy. Hydroponics Technician, Brendua, Thirsty. Quartermaster, Bexvian, Cupcakes. Hand, Renton, Bren. Hand, Pavdril, Pav. Hand, Pendril, Wang. Hand, Circa, Tease. Hand, Boindrag, Draggy, Scruffy. Hand, Maugga, Drilga, Auntie. Hand, Brux Vox, Vox Duo, Brax. Hand, Krillia, Dranlea, Knockers. Hand, Remba, Drango, Tig-Ol. Sergeant, Field Promoted Gunny, Jorman, Bob. Sergeant, Trandower, Girl Sergeant. Sergeant, Yorm Drev, Other Guy. Nobody seems bothered by the nicknames, but I'm going to make an effort to at least avoid using boob-related ones. While I think they're hilarious, they're not very professional. Probably. Fecking hate officer mode. I'm trying to keep names in official settings, but I keep calling Jorman, not George Man, Bob by accident, and it doesn't help that he's such a fecking good sport over it. Girl Sergeant gets mad at me, which would be helpful if she didn't have a chip on her shoulder, a fecking mile fecking wide. I think she's mad at me for making Bob the gunny and not her. But tough crap lady, he's obviously the most competent out of the three of you, so handle your crap. Family names seem to only be important in formal settings, so the single people didn't even bother giving me theirs, probably since they change when they get married or some crap. It seems kind of neat, but I don't really have time to look into the ins and outs of their naming conventions, since I'm busy getting the landers to integrate, which they're actually doing. Keeping up the crew's readiness and training up my bigs. They're picking up on how to lead targets surprisingly quickly, but with recent events, I think they're taking the drill more seriously than kids otherwise would. Crap is pretty harrowing. I did finally get a meeting with Pop's uncle and the sergeant scheduled. It seems that anyone who had even a little contact with the planet's barely competent bureaucracy was so fecking exhausted that they could barely grunt a reply. Fecking nepotism. But Pop says we're making all speed towards Farsight Station, which is in the same nation. Fingers crossed that Farsight is slightly more meritocratic. Meeting tomorrow. Log 6,001.2.10. Personal, Captain Yormdrill. There's something about almost competent people that just makes me want to die. You are almost good at your job, just a tiny bit more effort, and this entire process of getting takeoff clearance wouldn't be a frustrating exercise in demolition via cranial percussion. I don't care that we've been sailing for 3 days, it's still bothering me. Even the officers from the landers can barely speak from how fatigued from the absolute wall speaking with people who are barely smart enough or barely too dumb to do their jobs properly, but are yet safe from firing because they know someone with enough power to shield them. Gregory has been absorbed with his duties, so we haven't even gotten to do maintenance rounds together, which I regret because it would be pleasant to work on another hobby robot with him. 12 days. Hopefully the wee singer's faster. If we can catch him on the station.
Dear Gregory, I like boring days. On boring days, nothing bad happens. We still get to have lots of fun in the gym with Sneaky on boring days. There are no bad guys on boring days. We have a new friend on the ship. He is called Sage.
End of chapter. I would just like to thank the T5 supporters. Bushmaster 117, Casper Arnholtz, Dragzoon W.R.E, Elijah Silvercross, Gray, Jon Creighton, and Sevaren Serberous. Thank you very much.